Where are you? What are you doing? Did you go in and do what you were supposed to do? Give me a second here. I don't know what happened here. These internets. So confusing sometimes. Stay with me, guys. Don't go to the light. Pre-market. Private. And then what is private? And then what's today? What's the 18th? I feel like I forgot to do that. 18th, 19th? What's today? Should say me right there. 18th. And why I say 19th? 18th. Cool. All right, let's get to it. Why do I look like a small child at this desk? There we go. Let's get to it. Get this going. And all right, cool. So some of these names out there are having a really good day, and we probably should start there. We'll probably start with those names. I think that's the best place to start. So in regards to Netflix absolutely crushed. I'll show you these levels and how I see it off the open. But what's most important about Netflix for those that are playing this or interested in hearing what happened? The most important thing about it, and this is just going to be a moving target during the day, but the most important thing that, and I would track that, is that their subscription growth went up by 33% on the revenue side for the ad tier. So that's actually really good. Like really good. I think people were confused by yesterday's sell-off and don't really understand why it happened. And it's not a big deal, but yeah, people positioning for options. Options are going to create more volatility than people understand. They really don't understand how they work, and they don't understand the volatility of them. Pardon me. So I think that's really important for people to get. You don't have a Fed backstop anymore, guys, and people really just like, why did we sell down? The market moved 30 basis points, right? What were we off? 50 basis points off the high? Like, who cares? Let me move this stuff out of the way. Let's get to it. So if we look at this level on the NQ, it's the same level. It's the same superheated. It's that November month-over-month date, and we are not able to get over it. Test, fills, retest. Now, if we eat up that supply, whoever this is, maybe we do get over it, but for now, we still are not getting over it. And the other side of this, really, and I don't like these at all, but whether you see it that way or whether you see it this way, rising wedges, they tend to end in tiers. So I'm not really crazy about this setup. I like more backfill. It makes me feel better. I sleep better at night when I have that, and I don't really have that here, do I? So it's vexing. I do think you have a couple levels here that you could look at and kind of go from there. You watch like this control bar right here. If you've watched for some time, you guys know that I like these control bars. And you just watch the test, the retest of that, and then you're kind of wedged in here. So, do we get some kind of base that we can work off of? That'd be groovy if it happens, but I don't know that it's going to. So I think we have to watch this very, very closely and kind of go from there. My hope is that you do get through it, but so far, and even this particular pattern, I'm not crazy about. Down, up, 1, 2, 3, usually led by, down is usually how that goes. You can see it like down, up, 1, 2, 3. It's that fourth bar that makes the decision. So Monday, you've got a decision to make here. It's usually those patterns that you'll see. Like you'll see it down, then you'll see like 1, 2, 3, and then it'll be like, okay, what's this bar going to do? And usually if it undercuts this, like you're done. And what it did was, you did the undercut and reversal, which is nice. But you always want to watch that, like, down, consolidates. Oh, we're fine. We're not fine, right? Oh, we're going to fall apart. 1, 2, 3. No, we're not going to fall apart. You see, you got to get to that second day of pain, usually is what it is. And you got to get rid of the people that were hoping and dreaming. That's why I always be first. It's just even if you're wrong, just be first. It's easier. So if you take a look at this on a 5-minute chart, look at the key levels. It's pretty clear where the top is. I mean, that's not really rocket science. But if we look at the NQ and we look at it from this way, we look at these levels, and you should be able to see this pretty darn clearly right here. and where we're at, right? And then after that, we would just go to here. And you look at those levels. Are they of significance? I mean, I think they are. I do. I think they are. I think that you have to spend a lot of time talking about them. I don't know. It sounds kind of boring. Like, I mean, what are we going to do? Keep pointing at the same level and going, like, let's watch this level. It's pretty obvious where it is. Like, there's better things we could do with our time. You want to see, I mean, another one's right here. Like, you guys should be able to see this stuff cold. So, if you look from that perspective, this is how I see it. And this is where I see the levels on the NQ. I think you're going to bonk around a lot today. I think you have a lot of options that are going to expire today, way more than most people think. And that's kind of how I say it. That's kind of how I say it. But, other people might see it a little differently. If you take a look here on the Qs, we'll equate this out to the Qs. Then we'll go from there. And really, this thing's still not loading in. This thing's giving me such a hard time lately. So let's cancel that. Bear with me, guys. Let's go back to this. Okay, bear with me 1 second here. Okay, this thing's like a little nightmare now. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, I got a little technical issue here. Boomer's trying to use the computer, try to figure out what the issue is. All right, give me 1 second here, guys. Let me see something. Maybe it's doing it over here and I don't see it. 1 second. I don't know why this thing always gives me such a hard time lately. Just bear with me. Man, I miss my Apple. Okay. Yes, open. I just lost like an hour's worth of work, so bear with me for 1 second. I'm trying to get it back. Okay. Got it back. Save that, and then save as. Just bear with me. Almost done. October 18th. Free. Save. Let's try this one more time. Get that in. Sorry, guys. Apologies. But that would have been like a nightmare. All right. Boomer learns how to use a computer. All right. So again, you're going to kind of want to watch these levels, but are they set in stone? Not really. You kind of had that 2 o'clock dump. The one catalyst out there is, when does the Israeli war end? It's starting to seem like you might be getting to the end of it out there. After that, you had that announcement the other day that Hamas leader's dead. between everything else, I mean, it's pretty impressive that like how far they've gotten with that war in such a short period of time. So I do think that may be coming to some kind of head there. It sure feels that way when you watch that close right there as well. But I really think that this is where you're looking at and kind of going from there. I mean, this was a pretty easy short off the open the other day for everybody that likes those zero dated option stuff. But when you start watching these levels, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that you're going to get anywhere today, but that's kind of where I would go, and that's kind of what I would watch. I'd watch those levels, and then I'd go from there. I mean, they're definitely the bigger levels out there for me anyway. Let me click on this, drop this down, and then we'll go from there. And then drop that down here as well. But that's kind of how I see it. I don't know that there's a whole heck of a lot to do there. Let's go take a look at the SPY, see if there's anything going on there. Not really. And I don't know that there's, you're not going to want to really overtrade today. What you're going to want to do is really look at your option walls and kind of see where they're at. The easiest way to do that and do it for free, just go to, Max Pain. I really wish these sites would highlight the important ones or the out of character ones so that you guys could figure it out. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. It's like, I watch so many people watch like sweeps and stuff like that, and they have no idea what they're looking at. It's very frustrating. I mean, there's levels, but are they real? Are they like really what you have to pay attention to? Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, I kind of see it that way. I kind of see that as your levels. I don't know that you're going to really go anywhere or do anything. You're probably going to, probably come back down a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. And I don't really think, again, that there's, much to do there. Let's take a look at this right here, and we'll go from there. But overall, I think that the market looks fairly decent here, and we'll see. But, I don't, let me see something here. Let me see if that makes it better if I do that with it and blow that up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better to see it, right? Affirm dropped because Klarna is going to be in on Apple Pay. I think that's kind of important. People are like, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. The phone that you use to make purchases is using another payment service and not yours. Yeah, it's a really big deal. And Affirm should have done everything they could to make sure that they got that deal, and they didn't. So that's a real problem for them, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'd watch this. I think you can gap fill. If I was a shareholder, I would not be happy at all. I'd be a little concerned here. That would not make me feel warm and fuzzy, like at all, with that kind of thing. So I'd watch this today. What else do we have out there? It's interesting. Apple selling iPhones like hotcakes. Everybody was dead wrong on this. Like everybody. We kept hearing about this super cycle, and then they said there's going to be not one because they didn't come up with the software. Everybody has to take their numbers up on Apple. There's no way that they're not going to take their numbers up. You have a paywall right here. I'll show you, so you can kind of go see it yourself and understand how this works. But if you look right here, you can just see it. All right, you can go to maxpain.com. And 235 right there, right? Like they don't want to pay that. Option market makers don't want to pay that. So I think at some point you get back there. Disclosure, I have a position in this. I also think if you're on an option market maker front, like if you take a look at like Max Pain, I really don't think they want to pay 725 people out at all. So I think they're going to try and take it back down to there. Now, whether or not that happens, remains to be seen. This is pretty strong. I'm surprised. Like if you look at this today, you finally gave something back, but you really have not been giving a lot back. So I'm surprised that you're sitting right here. But we'll see how that goes and how that opens. And it is what it is. But I have calls and stock in this, just disclosure. But I would think that they're going to try to get this back to that 725 level. They tried like hack to pin it there last night and stop. And then they got you down and they failed a little bit. But I think that's the, we'll say it's the algos, whatever. That's the option market makers. They don't want to pay 725. They definitely don't. So I think that you have a shot at getting back down there today. I think that's a pretty interesting level to watch for us. What else? 140s. They certainly are not going to want to pay the 140s today on NVIDIA. You probably want to watch that level as well. You probably see these rallies and then these drops. I think that's where you're going with today. I don't think you're just going to go, melt up. I think that's kind of important. What else do I think is out there that's kind of interesting? Taiwan Semi, 203. You kind of want to watch and see if you can get to that 203 level again, see if that open holds and kind of go from there. What else is really interesting that I think? China, they did really well last night with GDP. You're seeing that move pretty nicely. Clean that off. It's a disaster. And really what I've been watching with China is just this. But, guys, these trades, like China's not for the weak of heart. You can come in and be up 10% or down 10% because somebody sneezed. So you got to keep that in mind. It's not an easy trade. You definitely want to watch the anchored VWAP from the day that they made the announcements. And that's what you see right here. So I think that's pretty interesting as well. And, I got time for questions. We'll go from there. I'm trying to see what else I really wanted to hammer home. This ASML is kind of interesting, too. You might want to watch this. I have a position. I'm long now. And you're flipping this. And I think that's fascinating. Watch. Do this level. All right. So if I go here, I get rid of the pre and the post. See that level right there? All right. So that's without. See, here's the thing. I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't want pre and post in this unless you had an event. Like you had the event when the market was open. So you don't want pre and post in there. That's a huge thing. You want to understand that the average person that's out there trading during the day, are they up or down in the trade, right? They're up in the trade, right? And there's a reason this is up $12. We started to see it lift yesterday. It started leaking why they missed. And I'll just tell you, I mean, it's Samsung. Samsung put their orders on hold and it threw off the bookings. So that's one of the key reasons. They didn't have a big client. It's a Samsung issue. It's not a demand issue. But, these machines, they're the size of your house. So it is what it is. But that's why you're bidding up $12 today. Just FYI. And we'll go from there. But other than that, what else is out there? You might go up on this. If you can get over this, if you can get over that anchored VWAP today, you could move. But you got to watch this stuff. And I think I'm going to start doing more lessons why I give information. People seem to like that. I get comments on it. See, but if I throw this in and then people are like, oh, well, I'm up, well, not really, Rocky. You got to understand, like, all this crap doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't. So because you hardly have any volume compared to this. So you have to think about it, like, logically. Whereas if you're looking at Netflix, well, all you had was this volume. So you want to know where these players are, right? You want to understand where everybody is. And again, I do think they try to get this down to not pay people, which is fine. It presents opportunity. It presents a lot of opportunities. This was a lot of fun last night. So what else is out there that's really like lighting the world on fire? Uranium, but do you have to really care about that today? Maybe not. The Bitcoin names, these things are starting to move. This is getting super interesting. And see if this thing finally loaded in. Hold on, I gotta make sure that the private video loaded in. Bear with me, guys. Yeah, finally. Good Lord, it's a nightmare. I eat like super clean, and last night I had nachos. I have not had nachos in forever. It is like brutal. When you eat clean and then you eat like nachos, it's like a hangover. It's killing me. October 18th. Alpha Change Private Pre-Market, October 18th. Note to self. Don't eat nachos. Or at least probably don't eat all the nachos. All right, let's get that out. Get that going. Give me 1 second, guys. Get to this. All right, sorry guys. So I thought this was kind of neat, and I don't really follow this. All right, I don't. Do we have an ET? Do we have an ETF on this thing yet? I'm not going to do this one. Let's get into it. Do you have a, what do you call it on this yet? Do we have an ETF on this yet? I think this is getting really interesting. So whenever I have something like this, like where you just kind of like base and it gets tighter and tighter, and I have this bar like this, like you just want to start watching because that's what it's doing. See how it's like lower, then higher, then right, and now you're higher, then lower. Like, and I know this is not going to sound prophetic, but you're going to do something, and you're going to be like, "Geez, thanks, Rocky." Now, am I going to go out there and say that this is the best Head and Shoulders? Not really. No, it's not. Like, it's kind of wonky. I wouldn't look at it that way. I'd look at it like this is your control bar, right? That's your control bar. And you've been in that bar whacking it around ever since. Like you haven't moved, right? You've been in a $500 range since August. I think that's important when you see these things here. Like, watch this. Like, watch here. Like, look. See that? Like that. Your whole trade's that bar. Watch. I was looking at this last night. And you guys were probably sleeping in your sloth. But see this right here? Watch. Hold on. Hold on. There's more. Watch with Tesla. Watch this. But wait, there's more. I feel like that Shamwell guy. All right. You never really closed over that hourly, like ever, right? Like you kind of did here, and they just got completely matumboed. And then they opened you at that level that one day, right? Yesterday. And then it was just, oh no, not today. And then boom, whoever's here, they're angry and they're selling. But watch, you see like how you're stepping up? It's getting tighter and tighter. That's telling you supply is going away. You always want to watch those wicks, kind of go from there. Yeah, see where you're at. All right, let's take questions. What's up, Chris? Yep. I really feel like the UU, like I really can't jump on the UUU bandwagon, the energy. We had a guy in the room that's been all over uranium forever. We actually give him his own room now. He's got his own little uranium room. He's killing it there. But I don't know. I don't know enough about these names as to which ones to play, right? To me, the trade is, I think you buy uranium outright. Right, whether you're buying SRUUF, which is physical uranium, or you're buying URA, which is this uranium ETF. I don't know that it even matters. To me, I like the URA. There's obviously a difference between uranium and enriched uranium, and I am not going to be. I don't know why this is bothering me so much. Maybe it's because of the way I'm turning my neck looking at this screen. I might go get rid of these curved monitors. Let's blow this up here. Does that help me? No, that's a nightmare. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Talk about neck issues. Jesus. What if I do this here and I do this here? Is that going to be better for me? Is that going to make me happier? All right. So then let's go to this. And if I do that and turn this way, yeah, but now I look like a small child again. Hold on. Okay, that's nice. Oh, good. Now my neck doesn't hurt as much. I need another stand for that. Okay. But I think that, oh, come on. I got to tell you, getting these monitors, man, this thing was a nightmare. Definitely not worth it. Getting these expensive. I got these super expensive, like curved monitors. I miss like my old school monitors big time. I might flip back, just give these away or something. I'm trying to get used to them. I've had them for over a year now. I'm still not used to them. I just like this a lot better. I think this is so much cleaner. But there's a difference between uranium and enriched uranium. I don't see how uranium or let me rephrase that. I don't see how enriched uranium does not go higher, considering that Russia is basically in charge of like 35 or 40% of it. Like, it's mind blowing to me that people aren't understanding what the issue is going to become. So, the SOX in and of itself, I don't think ASML did a great job explaining why they're down. I think they actually did a really poor job on that conference call, like explaining the issue. What I liked about the SOX, Chris, was the fact that you didn't break the 55, right? You couldn't break it. Say it? You couldn't break that level. You got one down day, and then they said, okay, well, we're going to sell the KLACs of the world, which does make sense. Like, I don't know that I'd be going near the KLACs, the LAMs. I don't know that I'd be going after those names, the KLACs, the LAMs, the AMATs. I've been shorting them, and I'm very happy with that trade. It works out very well. You could probably do it again today. You could probably just go right out there and, short them again, because you're going to have to take all your numbers down on all those names. You just are, especially like if someone's not taking delivery of that equipment, you don't need these guys. And you'll see Goldman took like UMC down today. They took their earnings down today. You're going to take Intel down today, all the earnings, right? Intel will probably go up on it. But so I think from a SOX standpoint do you want to buy the SOX? I don't know. I think you need to get more specific. Like SMH is more interesting because they're more heavily weighted in AI. Like SMH is 2x NVIDIA, right? So that makes a little more sense to me. But NVIDIA's got to get through 140. I thought it might do it yesterday. There's just way too much of a wall there, way too much. So probably doesn't happen today. Let's go take a look at some of this stuff to see what's going on, what's banging out there right now. Got a bunch of stuff on. That's how I look at it. I don't know what happens if she wins. Here's my sense. And I preface this with, I don't care, but and I truly, to extent, like, don't. But I think you have to look at it and say that the market is definitely positioning for them to change the incumbent. It's very clear, right? My larger concern and the damage to the market is if you had a sweep of Congress. That's what you really need to be afraid of. Like, let's just say you get the Republican wins everything. That's not good for anybody, and neither is it if you had a Democratic sweep. It's not good. You want a check and balance in there, and that's when you're going to have an issue. Who's at the top? The market doesn't care. I mean, I hate to say it that way. It'll care, but it doesn't care. Like, it's more about, okay, do we have gridlock? Okay, great. You guys go and argue, get bipartisan stuff done. If you have everybody leaning one way, then they can do stuff. But if you have everybody leaning another way, they're going to do other stuff. The biggest thing with Trump is the tariffs and people not understanding how that's actually going to work. And people don't realize that we didn't even have, federal income tax till 100 years ago, and everything was tariffs. And it just gets into consumption. The people that want to buy stuff pay. The people that want to save money and invest, GDP will actually go up on that. People think it won't, but it will. So that's really interesting to me. The other side of this becomes, let's say, and this is where it comes in, the bond market will rally if she wins, and stocks will sell down, specifically small caps, because she's going to lean more towards the global agenda versus the small caps. That's why small caps are rallying. That's the reason why small caps might actually break out. So let's say she wins. You're going to small caps, like she wins, short small caps, go long the big global industrial names. That's the play, buy bonds. Like they'll be the big moves. The other thing is the equity market will sell down because it's starting to be factored in that she's not going to win. And who knows what happens with this? You never know how this whole thing plays out. You just don't. We think we do, but we don't. They talked about that poly market today, and like it's up a lot, and then you found out like it's 4 accounts that are moving it. So you just never really know how this stuff's going to play out, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, well, yeah, he's pro everything. Like, and it makes sense. Like, it's stupid, you know. I mean, none of the agenda, none of the green agenda that these guys want to have on the Democratic side, it makes any sense whatsoever. You can't have enough solar panels. You can't have enough charging stations. You know, they want everybody green, and then at the same time, they're telling people not to use their cars that day because there are problems in California with the grid. The other thing that's going to happen there, either way, Chris, that I would say about all this stuff is that it's very clear that governments are pulling away from EV. You had France just get rid of a third of what companies were getting, like their discount for buying an EV. So I think that these credits for EVs go away. And I think that's one of the reasons why Elon's so worried about, you know, making sure that he gets Trump in, frankly. I think because I think that the credits are going to go away. And if those credits go away, that's a nightmare for the EVs. But they're starting to do it. Macron just did it. Cut it by a third. What do you got for us? NMRA. Great questions, Chris. I can go off on that for a while, but I think that's where this is going. I think that's why they're all saying it. That's why they're all and the lobbyists are already starting with nuclear. Like, you can already say it. You can already see where it's going. No matter who gets in, I don't really think that. I think eventually, like, uranium will sell down right away if she wins, but you just buy it. That's not going away. They're just, all the lobbyists are just going to throw too much money at them. Yeah, you can get through. That'd be awesome. Did you have any volume when you did it? Yeah, look at your volume picking up too. That looks great. Yeah, it seems that way. You got that call wall there, so I don't know. I wouldn't do it. What's up, Steve? I went from the Bronx. I went from Miami. CTRE. I might be up there in like a week or two. We're supposed to go to an event. I don't know if I'm going to go or not. I don't know. I don't have any volume, dude. I've got no volume. Where's the beef, Eric? Where's the beef? If you're in the Bronx, why aren't you buying these? These things kill me. Absolutely kill me. Look at all the volume coming in these now. Watch, VNO. I keep hearing New York's dead. Someone should tell New York office real estate that it's dead. Remember this? I mean, it's so crazy looking back at this chart. You know, this is when Japan, that company, took a 25 or 50% ownership in 245 Park for $2 billion. It's tripled. It's been a little over a year. It's crazy. And people think they don't need to know fundamental analysis. It's absolutely crazy. We keep hearing that these things are going to plummet, right? I mean, they're just going to keep going, dude. The economy's way better than we think it is. Way better. Either that or they are fudging these numbers so much, man. I don't know. If I was in a REIT, Eric, and it was not moving like this, I'd have concerns. You know, this is fascinating to me. Like, this kind of stuff. You're coming into earnings on the 22nd, and you see how this thing's moving. You're still under book value. I would really be going, and this is really what I would be doing. I'd be looking at the ones that are under book value and seeing are they. What was that other one? Medical. There it is. MPW. Sorry. I'd be looking at these like the ones that are trading under book value. I think that is the easiest money to make right now. I really do. I think finding REITs that are under book value and assessing their portfolios, I think that's like the easiest thing to do. This is probably a no-brainer to 9 at this point. You know, and nobody wanted it. I mean, I look at that one, and there's some others too, like that. I would start going through them. You know, even like Hudson Properties, like this thing can't get up off the ground, but at some point there's got to be something there. You know, there's got to be. I'm going to have to jump here and get set up, guys. Let me just see there. The music of victory. Yeah, today's going to be a lot of fun. I think you're right, Russ. What's up, Journal? What's up, Mitch? What's up, Hunter? What's going on? Yeah, there's some great earnings plays today. He usually starts at 8:15. Sometimes he runs late, but he's shooting for 8:15 every morning now. I tried 8. It's a disaster. Nobody wants me before my second cup of coffee. There it is. Thank God. Happy Friday. I personally think that MSTR looks great. Netflix is just going to rip people's faces off today because a lot of people grossly underestimated the ad revenue sales. So I think they rip people's faces off today. And I think the Apple news is way bigger than people understand. I don't think they get it yet. But we'll see. That's going to bounce all around the place. So, yeah, a technical issue, Donna. I fixed it. But thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't know why you would short something that's like ripping people's faces off. It's very clear that central banks are buying gold. Like Russia's buying gold. All these central banks all around the world are buying gold. It's not an inflationary trade. They are buying gold. So essentially, they have unlimited funds. They're buying gold and you're shorting it. Do you know what I mean? Like what? Like why, Beat? Like for what? Like of all the things to do to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like why? I'm long this and I'm long physical gold. I own physical gold, and I'm long this. If I was going to buy one, I'd buy this. This has the cost structure is 1/3 of this, so it just makes sense to do. But bro, why? Like why? They can just outspend you forever. They print money, and then they're taking their printed money and they're buying physical gold with it. Bum, 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 bum. What's up, Jesse? You're right. It's not a good idea. It's imperative you have a plan. Well, I'll tell you something, Vincent. What I didn't know, I really didn't know this because I wasn't trading it for that reason. Do you know that no internet company has gained more market share in internet sales than Walmart? I went on their website the other day. I didn't know you could do that. Like I can just get toothpaste and have someone deliver it in 2 hours. Like they don't even use anybody. It's not like I have to go to DoorDash to do it. They're just like, no, Walmart, go to Walmart and then boom. I was like, wow. Which is just crazy. It really is. It's just crazy. But I had no idea that Walmart was growing like that on the internet side. I knew they were growing their internet business. I didn't know that they were like beating Shopify, beating Amazon, and grabbing market share. Like I had no idea it was like that. But it makes so much sense if you think about it. They have the warehouses everywhere. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm not a big fan of Coca-Cola. And owning that, it's one of those names just never really works for me. I don't have the patience. Walmart makes a lot of sense. Their earnings are going to be up to the roof. They're sandbagging fourth quarter. That's the real story, Ross. If you go watch last night's video and just fast forward to where I talk about gross margins, and you'll understand why it's up. So their gross margins were 29 for the quarter, and they're sandbagging fourth quarter, saying 21%. And usually, historically, fourth quarter is lower, but they're saying that they're going to have net ads up. Like, just go listen to it. They're sandbagging. That's why it's got $800 target prices today. I think you should be running. Like, if I had to tell you what to look for right now, I think that there's a lot of money to be made in finding the REITs that are trading under book value and understanding their market. Like, do I like MPW? I probably wouldn't touch because they have one huge customer and they're in the medical supply business. But like, do I have an interest in Brandywine because they have secondary markets? They're in Texas, they're in Philly. There's secondary markets. You're trading under cash, or you're trading over cash, but you're trading under book. I mean, I think there's fundamental, like if you're a value dude and you're willing to ride that, I think there's fundamental work to be done there. Yeah. And also the other screen that I run all the time, and I find I'll find things from it. Go run positive companies that have positive cash flow that are in biotech, positive cash flow, that are trading at cash. Like sometimes you'll find like, I think it was like a year ago, I found like 100 names that were literally trading at cash that had positive cash flow. It was crazy. And we bought a couple of them. They wound up like, they're like little guys, like $2-3, but a couple of them wound up like doubling or tripling. You can find them, and you can use FinViz for that. It's easy scan. I could do a video on it actually. They're so simple trades. And the other thing is no one's trading them. Institutional money is all in the big dogs. Guys, I'm going to have to jump here soon. That's in the room, Don. Should be in the room now. I don't think it's gluten intolerance. I just think that I eat like so clean that when I step out of it, it was delicious. I enjoyed every moment of it. ETHA. Is that it? Oh, I'm not touching that thing. No. You're going to have volatility, man. You're going to have volatility if you're going to change the world. TLT is probably a decent area to look at. Hey, Christy, is that what I'm doing? I'm turning my neck, right? I'm doing something. I got neck pain lately. Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah, they're ultra. They're not. I don't know if they're ultra wide, but they're these Samsung. I spent thousands on them. Don't do it. I'm gonna have to jump, guys. No, I think you're bottoming. Watch the low. Watch 192. You have to break 192, Christy. I got to jump. I got to hop in the room. Trade to win today.